So right now, I brought up Rhonda Ayala
Hi.
and
Hello. I'm not supposed to tap. Okay.
no tapping. So we're going to talk about creating a good support system and how you go about doing that. And I think that's really important. You have to find somebody that's going to, can you hear better? Okay. You have to try to find people that could help you during the journey. A lot of us have family and friends that help, but sometimes people don't. And that's why I feel it's very, very important, especially at these events, that you network and that you find other people to help you. So Rhonda, what good tips do you have of support system?
I have a funny story to tell. It's not really funny, but it's interesting. So I'm in Publix one day and I'm shopping. And my girlfriend, who I hadn't seen in years, comes by and I go, "How you doing?" This is not net related, but she did. She said, I'm not doing good. I have breast cancer. And I said to her, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." She goes, "Yeah, I'm going to the doctor to see if it came back in the other breast." And I go, "Who's going with you?" She goes, "I don't have anybody to go." Do you know, the next day I was at a surgeon's office with her. And I became her support system. And I only know that because I needed a support system when I went through this. I'm a peanut. And so it's just an example of reaching out to others and not being shy and, going with you. I think it's really important to have somebody go with you to the doctor because statistically, we are so, when you hear something, you're mulling it over in your brain when the doctor says the next thing. And my husband came with me to everything, and I go, "Well, they didn't say that." He goes, "Yeah, they did." And because I'm thinking about what he just said, and, he moved on to different subjects. So if you can take someone with you, I highly suggest you take another set of ears with you. Some of the doctors, and I understand why as a retired nurse, don't want you to record them, but there are some physicians who don't mind. So that's another thing, to just come out and say, "May I record you?" And if they say no, just be gracious and say, "Okay." But that's another thing to remember these. But there's a lot of important reasons to bring a support person. Let me ask right now, by show of hands, who is here, we're family, so let's just keep it real here. Who's here alone? Anybody here? Okay. This is a really good time to look at each other right now, exchange phone numbers. Guess what? You have a support system. Okay, did you already do that? Okay, all right. And as far as someone to have like in-person support system, look out to family, friends, whoever might seem like a real smart person to go with you and be your advocate and ask questions.
And also, you can also ask the doctor if you could put the phone on speaker and have somebody on the other end listening as well. So if you're not recording, at least that way the person on the other end is hearing what's going on as well. So even though they might not be able to be there physically for you, if they're there listening, then they can ask questions as well. So that's really, really important.
Can you say an awful thing? I really do. Or no?
What?
I can say an awful thing. I really do.
Yeah.
Okay, this is awful, and really I do it. So if you put your phone on video, turn it backwards in your purse with the mic up, you got a recording. Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, God. Any advice, Ann?
Well, Rhonda and I are into group participation. Who all here is attending as an advocate or a caregiver?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Rick,
Thank you.
raise your hand, Rick.
Rick, raise your hand.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
My husband.
On behalf of everyone in this room,
Yeah.
thank you.
You guys deserve
Whether you are related by blood, by marriage, high school best friends, whoever is your person today, thank you. We can't do it without you. I think when you first receive your diagnosis and you feel so horribly alone, it is imperative to cultivate a support group. instinctively you're going to go to your family or your closest friends or the friend maybe who has known you the longest, who knows all your secrets and loves you anyway. Tell them as much as you can about how you're feeling and let them help to nurture you through so that you come to terms with your diagnosis and you learn how to share your story with others so that you can become a support for someone else, just like Wanda was saying. The more that you're able to share, the more comfortable and supportive that you feel in your cancer journey, then you will find yourself able to give support and encouragement to others. And because we are a little recognized
We're
disease,
special.
Yeah, we are so special.
We're special.
Daggone. I just want to be normal. I've always wanted to be normal. No.
Normal is a setting on the dishwasher. That's it.
Yeah. But, you know, but it will give you the strength to deal with it. And that's what I'm always looking for, the people that I can help now. But it started out, I'm fortunate, it started with my family first. But it has spread to the medical community, the neuroendocrine community first, the pharmaceutical.
Hi, guys. Thank you,
company.
thank you.
I mean, they're part of my support staff now. They just, or support system, excuse me, I don't pay them.
She has a whole staff.
No, I think it's really, really important. And like I said in the beginning, every family has a story. Welcome to ours. And we are all here for each other. And you know, people say to me, oh, I do these virtual meetings and everything else. I have to be honest with you. I have heard from so many people just today. There's a feeling when you walk into this room to know that every person in this room is dedicated to the NET community. They're either suffering from it, they're a supporter, or whatever. No other cancer has this kind of support. And if you talk to any of the pharmaceutical companies, they will say there's nothing like the NET community. God's honest truth, I can't tell you after 24 years how many people I have met in the pharmaceutical world, and they change a lot. You know, they go from different places. But I will tell you that most of the pharmaceutical companies that have people who, the salespeople and the people that come to these conferences, they will transfer from drug company to drug company to drug company because they want to stay with the NET community.
This is unique.
This is very, very unique. You do not see this in any other cancer. And so we're really, truly blessed to have each other to go through this journey. I'm going to tell you about Rhonda. You want to tell the story of us?
No, you can. Just make it sound nicer for me, okay?
So Rhonda is a Whipple patient,
Peanut.
a peanut, and Rhonda started a page for the Whipple Warriors.
Well,
Go ahead.
so the Whipple is known as the granddaddy of all surgeries, and they take out the head of your pancreas, reroute some ducts, and I'm sure the doctors know it's much more confusing. Pretty good, huh? Thanks. We'll take it. Anyway, it leaves you a little screwed up. That's all I'm saying. But so it's a big surgery. Mine was 15 years ago, and it took 8 hours. But I think they've shortened that by quite a lot now. About 5 hours. So this medical team is working on you for 5 hours, which is incredible. I mean, so at any rate, so I had the Whipple, and when I got out, I was at University of Miami, and of course this is 15 years ago, and being an RN and everything, nobody told me what to do after. Nobody gave me what to eat after, how to get back to normal. I had so many questions, and I thought, you know, if I'm an RN and I have all these questions, then you know, how is someone who's not in medicine supposed to do this? My dad was a surgeon, abdominal surgeon. He was right next to me, talking me through, making me eat, and when I didn't want to. And so pretty soon, I asked God what He wanted me to do with my second chance at life. And he said, make a Facebook page, start Whipple groups, and write a book, which has not been done. So anyway, sorry, God. So I did. And now the Whipple Warriors has become the biggest organization for Whipple patients in the world. I don't know how many countries we're in now, but we've answered questions. I don't even know how many members we have, thousands upon thousands. And so if you know anybody who needs a Whipple, send them that way. But one of the things I did is I went to organize with other groups and stuff because I wanted to, where are the Whipple patients? And Mary and I called her up out of the blue one day, and in about 5 minutes we hit it off. So did it take that long?
No.
It didn't take that long.
And so Rhonda calls and she said, I need Whipple patients. This is what it is. And I said to her, okay. And we started talking, and I said, tell me a little bit about your diagnosis. And she tells me. And I said, she said, I'm cured.
Ta-da!
And I said, Rhonda, I hate to break it to you, but you're not cured. I said, you have no evidence of disease at this time. And she said, nope, I'm cured. The doctors told me I'm cured. No follow-up is needed, nothing, no scans, no nothing. And this was, 4 years after your
It
diagnosis?
was 4 years after.
I was like, Rhonda, that's not a good idea. So I said, you know what? Why don't you come to a conference in New York?
We went on the cruise first.
Oh yeah, we went on a cruise first. We had a cruise. We had a neuroendocrine cruise for 4 days with the doctors, and we did a conference on the cruise.
How many of us want to do it again?
It was a lot of fun.
They're in.
Okay, well, you guys are in? Okay. So we went on. It was Dr. Gene Walter, right? Okay. And so we went on the cruise and we had a little meeting and everything else. But then at the cruise, I talked to her and I said, you really need to come to Manhattan to have a talk. And she reluctantly came with her husband. And again, during the whole time, she kept on saying, nope, I'm cured.
good.
I'm good. I'm cured. I'm good. So because we had became so close, I called this woman every single week.
It's because I went to a local doctor. He was wonderful. He didn't know neuroendocrine. And he said, you've had a few negative MRIs, you're good. That's why it's so important to get to a specialist.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So every week I called her and I said, Rhonda, did you have your MRI or CAT scan yet? She's like, no, I told you I am cured. And I was like, okay. And I think after about 6 months of me calling her every week, she just was like, all right, I'm going to just shut you up already. I'm going to go. And
Thank
what happened?
God. It had metastasized to my liver. And I couldn't have been more shocked. And so that set out a whole nother part of my life. But after chemo and getting with, I went to Lowell Anthony because she went, and he handled me beautifully. And after, I don't even know, not very much longer, maybe within 2 years, I was no evidence of disease again. And I haven't been for 8 years now, maybe, something like that. And that's one thing I want to tell you, you newbies. Look at the years we're talking. This is in most cases not you're gone. So this is going to be a way of life for you, a chronic condition in most cases. And of course, there's outliers, but.
So Rhonda now tells everybody I saved her life.
She did.
And it's my fault she's still here. This is what she tells people.
I'm sorry.
But, it's really important to get to the right doctors and to find the right people, because everybody in this room knows exactly what you're going through. While we all may not have the same diagnosis, we all are neuroendocrine patients. Some of us are high grades, some are mid grades, some are low grades.
Some are mixed.
So, yes, some are mixed, like Rhonda. Even though it's all in different places and everything else, we all do have the same disease, and we do all have an orphan disease and a rare disease. So it's very, very important that we stick together and we can get through this, and you're not alone on your journey. And, know that we are here to help. And sometimes when you're not getting the answers from the doctor or you're having a hard time getting an appointment, give us a call, and sometimes we can try to nudge the nurses and nudge
Nudge.
Nudge
We're nudging.
the doctors to kind of move things along a little faster. We're here for you. So just know that.
One of the things that I found talking with Whipple patients and, doing this for years with Marianne, we all share, and I think that's what makes us feel like a family immediately. We all share, we all know what it felt like to hear those words immediately, at first. We knew that how you can't sleep, you're just a mess. And it just helps to have other people. We just take out, in a societal view, we take out all the how are you, how's your family, everything's wonderful, and we go right to this is not good, this is what I'm going through. And we instantly go into support mode, right? So that's why I tell people when they're newly diagnosed, it's like eating a big pie, one slice at a time, one little hurdle at a time. And pretty soon it's back there, so.
Any other advice, Ann?
Oh, I get equal time.
We'll be here forever now.
So, she's never had Wanda and me up here at the same time.
I know, now I know why.
And now she knows why. No, I will never be Ned. So I have a different, no, I don't have I have a slightly different mindset, but also a wicked sense of humor. When I was diagnosed 9 years ago, I was 59 years old and had been a caregiver for 4 octogenarians as our parents were aging. So I thought I knew how to talk to doctors and medical staff, medical facilities. And I did as a caregiver. All of a sudden, as the care recipient, it shifted gears. And I assumed that role for my parents and then my in-laws. My husband is an only child, and so he let me take that also. But what I realized, we had 2 young adult sons, and that's who I was most worried about. Mm-hmm. My first thought when I got my diagnosis was, thank goodness this didn't happen when my children were small. Thank goodness this didn't happen while I was caregiving for the parents. And thank goodness my mother had passed away, because this would absolutely slay her. And so I started out on a point of positivity that my timing was good. I also realized that how I presented my story of my diagnosis, first and foremost to our 2 adult sons, would set the stage for how they would receive my diagnosis also. And that, it was my mothering instinct that kicked in first. And I have then applied it to everyone that I share my story with now, is that I want them to understand that I have this cancer, but it is not all of me. There are still, so I named my tumor Carl.
I didn't know that.
My family has a WhatsApp chat named Carl. And we only talk about my cancer on that WhatsApp chat. And it's wonderful. And I told my sons and daughter-in-laws at that time, I said, Carl is like Cousin Eddie in American National Lampoon's
Oh, I love
Vacation.
that.
He is obnoxious, he is annoying, he is a pain in the butt, but he's family and he's here to stay. And that has been very beneficial, because I have had the manifestation of carcinoid rage numerous times.
Is that a thing?
It is
It's a thing.
Oh my
Rick?
gosh.
It's a thing.
It is legit. It is. I have had to apologize to more people, but I apologize for the disease. It's not me.
I just thought it was
and in hindsight, that was probably one of my first symptoms. And my personality changed. I was a witch. And I have learned to apologize. I have apologized to nurses. I have apologized to, haven't had to apologize to a physician yet because my husband has stopped me. And I've had good physicians, but I make sure that I separate Carl's personality from my personality as best I can. And I make sure that my support people, my husband, our sons, their wives, and now my grandchildren are starting to catch on.
Babies.
But we try to distinguish so that I don't want to come across as a victim. And that cancer has caused me to change several aspects of my life. Some it's for the better, some things I miss, some things I regret, but it's not going to take away my sense of humor. It's not going to take away my zest for life. And that's what I try to share with other people. As we're talking about, I don't have a Mary and Rhonda's story to share quite as entertaining as that, but I did, and the thing I want to tell or remind everybody in developing, finding the support staff, you kind of have to cultivate them, because have we all lost a few friends once they found out you had cancer? It was just too hard for them to deal with.
Chickens.
They didn't want to hear. So you kind of have to phrase it in a way that you're comfortable with. You got to accept the fact you may lose a few friends, and that's okay, because you're going to make new ones.
And they weren't friends.
You're going to make new ones here, if nowhere else. But I encourage everybody to, as soon as you are comfortable sharing your story, beyond wearing the t-shirts and the bracelets and the pins, as soon as you are able to talk about it, to do so. Because you never know when it's going to benefit someone. And that happened to me about 6 years ago. I got a text online, and it was from my friend, an acquaintance, a childhood acquaintance. And she said, I understand you've got neuroendocrine cancer. I had posted something on my personal Facebook page. She says, I've never heard of that before until I got my diagnosis last week.
Wow.
Turns out she was my husband's best friend in high school. She has known my husband longer than I have. And who would have thought that our paths would have crossed 50 years later, and that she would become part of my support group, and I have become part of hers. And you're just going to find this with everyone in this room. We're part of your support staff now, support group staff.
Staff.
Well,
Henceforth, it shall be staff.
I'm used to bossing people around. Staff. But anyway, when you share your story, it will support you. It just may take you a while to find that out.
Yeah, I'm going to say that I truly believe that starting this foundation and the tens of thousands of patients that we have helped over the last 22 years is why I'm still here today. Because, well, I help a lot of you, you help me in a different way. So, it goes both ways. And I really, truly believe that, I was a homemaker. I was happy as can be at home. I had young kids. They were getting ready to be teenage. Michael was a teenager, and Trisha was 11 years old, and everything was great. And I wasn't working. I was like a stay-at-home mom. And all of a sudden, this came on, and this all started. And I never dreamed years later that I'd still be doing this 22 years later. I was doing a conference in a Marriott hotel with 100 people, and we do national conferences, which are 3 days events with 600 people. I never dreamed that we'd be still doing this and expanding. So, it really does make a difference in people's lives. And if you can support us any way you can, call us, let us know. If you want to get on the phone with patients, or you want to start a support group or whatever, just give us a shout. Okay. Time up? Okay. So, any last words?
Yes. join a support group with NCAN. And if there's not one near you, you can start it. I have never been a support group leader before this experience, and now I is one, and I love it.
Yeah, if
You
you're,
can do it.
if you're interested, we do some training and stuff like that, so just give us a shout. All right, what's
That's it.
next?
We're good.